Wow. Please help to share, family. Thank you. All right, Fambulem, a huge welcome to another edition of the Then and Now Media Program. I bring warm greetings to owner from the media empire itself. And obviously today, now the 23rd, it's a Monday, the beginning of the week, wishing everybody a great week. And like I say, we only just begin for the warm-up to the 2023 program. We were left behind, we're playing a catch-up, but definitely we'll catch up and we'll get boku in stuff for you. Would I ask Una kindly, for please share this program. Don't just only watch, also try for share so other people themselves will make,
some opinion, express some opinion or some judgment. But again, once more, this is the 23rd of January 2022. Very interesting program ahead of us. This is the TNN TV Media Empire, and don't touch that. Yes, indeed, that great sound of the empire. I am so excited today because, of course, as a humble servant, I bring on a good news. Of course, a good news is not good for everybody because everybody do have choices or choice. And one man's meat remains very true, is another man's poison. One man's freedom fighter is another man's guerrilla fighter. So anyway, once more, this is not the TNN TV Media Empire. This is not the hub of the conversation, and we're just warming up to 2023, but we promise you now exciting times ahead, exciting interviews, monologues, comments, analysis. They are on their way and not very far away. Today we want to talk about the All People's Congress, and when I go don't see the title already. When I put the flyer out there a few days ago, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, this is a short one. Today's Monday, not going to take your time very much. But once again, I ask you, please let's share. I mean, the numbers, I think, is total because we do this on only two platforms, which is YouTube and Facebook. There are 13 or 15 of us in number, but this is just the beginning. And if we can kindly share like we've been do before, don't be mean-spirited, don't be bad-hearted. No can watch and you try for hide your footprint as if you're not watching. You can equally help for do your due diligence. Yes, the number don't bump up. Would expect more of this. Please share. We are kindly only asking. Anyway, it is important about the sharing business because what in the sharing they do, they help the algorithm. They talk about Facebook, YouTube algorithm for be kind of favorable to the platform in the sense that it bumps up the numbers. And then because of the numbers, they allow you for bring great guests because when great guests see great numbers, they are always attracted to it. So they do turn up. So if you want to hear more from this platform, I am sure some don't wish the platform well. They've expressed that openly, publicly, but we are not going anywhere. We are here to stay. But then those of you who have got these good feelings for the platform, this is what we need to do. Thank you so much. And once again, I say, as soon as we put the flyer out there, the idea that APC, alongside the word, the letters APC, which is the All People's Congress, and then the word democracy followed. I see some people, they roll their eyes. Well, of course, you can't blame these people because historically speaking, the process now ongoing was nowhere synonymous with the All People's Congress. But this is a new beginning for the All People's Congress, and it's one that we almost commend. And some people have been calling for democratic process, democratization of the All People's Congress political party. And now the party, they go through that process with difficulties doing, not be saying no get challenges, even in places where democracy is already established, the United States, for example, England, for example, they always have challenges, whether through the rule of law, or the voting process, exercises, policies, just generally speaking, there are always problems. Much more those that are trying to grapple with this concept of democracy. It's not easy. But however, the good news here is APC is doing quite well in terms of democracy. Remember not too long ago, even yesterday or today, or probably a few days to come because some people let it catch up late, the SLPP, to a larger extent, and when you make the comparative analysis between these two major parties, of course, the SLPP, in terms of democratic processes, stood out. You can't I know say we argument that these days is completely different, in which new means old means new, blue means black, black means white or something else. So their argument and they still they go on, where we refer to as alternative, yeah, kind of facts. But facts amount to nothing but fact. So not too long ago, even today as I speak, it could be even tomorrow, next week, next month, because some people still grapple with this. The between the two parties, then the SLPP was the one known for exercising some democratic process through the internal organ. Them, in other words, when they want to get elections, and then they talk about general elections, I just they talk about between themselves inside the structure. It was a democratic process for let them choose their candidate. Now, let me make something clear. I really not opposed to a system where a party generally approve and say now this system now we go use for govern with, because after all, if we do go to the concept of a political party, which now a grouping of people them with a common agenda, a common idea of waiting and want, how they want, waiting and want, and waiting at the way going forward. So generally, they do agree on a process. That process could be democratic in a different sense. So in this vein, we understand say this democratic process now one way you put ballots down, and then people then come and put two people they contest or more, and then you put different ballot boxes then down, or even one, but then you get ballot paper where they indicate who they vote for. Sometimes across now you can put, or you mark inside somebody name or inside somebody in picture for indicate say this is the person that you are voting for. But within the realms of political party, then based on the agreement within, you can decide, say, now waiting, we decide a certain group of people, there are elements or there are hierarchy of this kind of people, because the party gets structure. You get the lower structure, you get the middle structure, and then you get the higher structure, just like many organizations. And then decide, say, when I so way the process go until it reach the top, and at the top now then get for make the decision. So what I'm saying here, if now the process done the way they agree on as a political party coming together with like minds and say this is the way we want to use for make we own choices that we want to make via selection, not election, and there's a general agreement on that, fine. And for the many years, this is what has been the case within the All People's Congress. It was fine then, it wasn't fine by everybody, but this night they choose, and people have to respect that. You don't want it, you don't appreciate it, but you get for respect that. But 60 years on or 50 years on, depending on the age of the party, there are many people who have been calling for democratic reforms within the party. I hope we they get this, because this is what we do on this platform. Try to make the case from every angle and present unto una the general public. So within the last few years, there have been noises, where people and they say, well, we party need for reform. And that reform movement, they gain momentum after the last general elections when the party lost power. People then come together and say, well, enough is enough. We don't want any more of that selection process. We want an election where people will be elected by others. So people then choose who that they want, not to other people, and they make the choice for them. Of course, things like this, they always meet challenges. And then challenges, then they cannot be easy enough. You can get infighting, you can get external fighting, because they only fight against the new. Remember, for let change come, something where people are not used to, it doesn't come easily. In developed countries, they can carefully introduce these changes through different means, but over a lengthy period of time, not a one time, because say, if you talk about a one time, it's only going to erupt into some kind of chaos, if you like. The team I want to talk shortly and fumble, like I say, I know they take on time much. This is about 45 minutes, 1 hour. I doubt whether I will reach 1 hour, but we can always say that. So I know they vouch for that. 45 minutes in an hour, but definitely not much, because I want to be precise. So having made this case, don't lay the premise, I want to shoot straight up to the APC, the lower level elections. because there's a process ongoing. And this process is very serious because this process is going to lead us all the way into what we call the flag bearer elections. Remember, first now be selection. Now that selection process, the S has been removed. So minus the S, what we are now left with is the process where the APC don't employ. But even though they don't employ this, and they go down well with many people, but at the same time, there are quarters of APC, most likely the old guard, that this they go down well with. They want the process, of course, because it makes a lot of sense. But if it's going to deprive people of power, you know, that leverage where them in get, that invincibility where them in get, that power where them in getting them, then of course, power is going to fight back in different means. So it not necessarily get for be directly them, but then can usually use surrogates, foot soldiers, you know, for do the dirty bidding. So that process they depend on go, but in two folds. One, the process of democracy it depend unfold as we speak through these elections, lower level elections, we I want to talk about. And family, this is really interesting. Even myself, it interests me and it is sweet me very much because in as much as I say I respect almost like a society, like an organization, like the people within the organization who are of one mind or decide for respect waiting and do within, then decide say when this way now we want to do things, then that way must be respected. If we not agree say this is the way that we for conduct ourselves, people begin for exercise, you know, yeah, some restlessness, say, this way I know, then therefore we need for listen. And the process of reform need for definitely start. So the APC Fambulem is in a democratic process. The lower level elections are currently ongoing. Of course, there's a pause, and suffice me to say that that pause came about as something I will talk about. But then a decision was they be mean for make a decision today. We go move the process, go forward. But I've been there on pause since last week. But this Monday today, as we speak, that process they should have been addressed, and the process be supposed for continue in terms of the lower level elections, which is going on fine. Not without incidents. Of course, there are incidents, and this now have been speak to us say when a process like this they take place, you can forget people and we just not agree with the process, or we know they take the process lightly, or we'll go and test the new process for see whether there are loopholes which they can penetrate, which is ongoing. And because of similar things, then we get for pause the election. The ongoing lower level election. So then lower level election there, let we look at waiting the mean, or let we look at it in its entirety. Waiting is made up of how it come about, waiting it mean, and USA in the lead, the party and the party members them too. So the lower level elections, it come about as a consequence of a mandate where the system, the governance system of the country, the judiciary, it give to the ITGC and the TIEMC. I can always get this abbreviation wrong, but obviously people know what they talk about, and if I miss some, please consider say they talk about the elections, the interim elections commission, which was set up. So that the committee is made up of 25 members. So you see from the ITGC to the temporary elections, management committee, interim management committee, and made up of 25 members. What in the court do, it give both the entity there, and they talk about the TIEMC and the ITGC, a kind of a mandate where now for conduct the elections. This is not the lower level elections, and this is not something where people are only talk about for quite a long time, because it may not be in the making. And because of this push by reformers within the All People's Congress, say this party need for go through reform now. So this exactly now they happen within the party. And whilst this may ongoing within the party, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I just create a backup here. need for the watch some of the comments that are coming up. And I don't say we'll not mention a few people. Please feel free for comment. You, of course, you can be critical. We encourage that so much here. If you like the video, please give us a thumbs up. If you like the video, give us thumbs up. If you don't like it, give us a thumbs down. Equally so, if you get sentiment for express, be it critical or not critical, please feel free for do so. This is how we learn going forward. Many thanks. So the court give then two body there a mandate, on how for conduct the election, for conduct an election, and the procedure on how for conduct the elections. Remember, now two body then the ITGC, which is the transitional council. Remember, say the All People's Congress in this entire fight for democratize the party, it ended up in a court. It ended up now because there was stiff resistance. And had the court not interfered, a lot of people reject that and not like that. But had the court not interfered, then of course it will have been the same of the same again and again, because you get very powerful elements who were not keen on elections. So the court began for interfere. And once the court interfere, it began for give them mandate on how for conduct themselves as a political party. So the ITGC in your mandate, where the court give them, now for conduct the registration and the application process of members or membership. This is on how exactly these people are supposed for contest for these positions, and the need for submit a list of membership or applicants to the interim body were responsible for conduct the elections, where happen for be the TIEEMC. And waiting this other body supposed for do now for produce a list of voter register, produce a list of voter register to the TIEMC, and now that voter register they now in then they use or mandated to use now the lower elections. This is critical, very, very serious fambulem, because as going forward, we go see how helpful this process was. And then people and we think as such say, now so for do. I think, of course, now people and we understand the system, then be able for snapshot some of the things then we then envisage say will happen going forward, because they can see them now people in the infinite wisdom, they know say such and such and such will happen. Anyway, on the basis of the registration process, what they also ask for do is that this is not part of the conditions we go make you eligible for participate in the process. It is a process, mind you, and it's democratic. So this now, not to inside one room or somebody in parlor or through a telephone call, now in the settle this. No, there is a process where people need for follow. Yes, you can exploit the system, but not to as it were before. It is a completely different ball game now. So on the basis of the registration process, the first thing first is that everybody will call himself a member need for go to bank. Only they go to bank for go look the bank name or look the teller where they be in the till. No, there's a reason why you have been sent to the bank. And that now for make sure say you go make payment, okay, which is the membership payment for proof say you na member of the party. And for proof say you na member of the party, there are a few things where you need for do in this regard. Okay, I see my green room don't come alive. I'm missing out on something. Yeah, just got disoriented because my green room just come alive, but not a problem. It can be sorted in seconds. So you go to bank, you go make payment, and that payment where you go make, now for show up the idea say, well, you are a bona fide member of this organization because you don't go pay your membership due na bank. So once you don't go pay that membership due day, now the bank, you don't put everything in place for sure say that indeed you are a member and you are up to date. So when you don't complete that process day, this then make you eligible, not only as a member, which is first of all really critical, but it allow you for participate in this process without let or hindrance. Because members say now then documents they are now you go show as proof or evidence for sure say you have completed the process and therefore you are eligible for participate in the process, where of course every member want to participate in. So while all members they don't go now the bank for go make the payment, it also incumbent on the part of all the people that we want for B. In other words, we want for contest, or the applicants them, then when they we want apply for them position at the ward level, then also have to be up to level. Then get for be in a position where they don't complete the process, where there are no questions asked. Because if for you for be eligible, you also need for go na the bank and go make a payment where na a subscription or fee where you supposed for make amounting to the period of 2 years. So in other words, you go to the bank, you go make 2-year payment. When you don't make this 2-year payment, you don't complete that process. Of course, the bank issue you a slip. What then happens is you become legible or eligible for the process. In other words, this don't confirm that you can indeed be a candidate, an applicant, an aspirant for this ward level position. So the TII EMC in mandate, therefore, now for ensure say there is a voter register and there is also an applicant list. So between the voter register and the applicant list, then two then the 9 and they used, then at the TIEMC now where they don't complete, this mandate from the ITGC. Now in the TIEMC they use for conduct these elections, the voter registration and the application list. So that these two for they in tandem. The way how they conduct these elections, because of course that conduct is ongoing now as we speak. Remember, I said there's a pause. I'll not be able to forget word from the ground, from the people and at the ground, as to waiting at the outcome today, and myself not check media or me necessary resources there because I've been tied down with, of course, personal work and a lot of other backlog where I've been trying to catch up with. So of course, I don't do my due diligence before they come, but that's why I'm being careful. I know say the process was put on hold since last week, and the decision was meant to be made this week. So I'm very conscious around that, and I'm not going beyond that point when I don't know the decision which has been taken. Having said this, I can also ask member them where they na the platform now where they watch, or viewer them where they watch. Then because man the fluent man anything they are, then they keep tag on waiting they happen. So I can equally inform me as to whether the PPRC has given the go ahead and the process has begun once more. But for now, here we are. The way the election, then they conduct this election now in various categories, and it therefore be something like in 4 to 5 categories as per my understanding. The first one will be on the ward level, and they talk about the elections, how then they conduct them. First one will be on the ward level, and the second one are the constituency level, whilst the third one will be the district level, and then the fourth one will be on the regional level. So you see, there is a hierarchy there. Ward level, which is ongoing, and then the constituency level. Now they mean they where the pause come because they mean really draw, from there we for go to the district level. Now the PPRC come inside and pause the whole game. So once they commence the exercise once more, we will be on the district level. After the district level, then come the regional, and then from the national elections. Now from there now, then they begin for target the flag bearer election. So Fambul and this now in the process, and that process they on. And the good news is the process is democratic. So no longer will between the two parties, because this not be something where the other party they provoke the other party. But you not democratic, bo. You on as election, kuku jumuku yuki sonko now na depend. But again, like I say from the beginning, this not been the agreement inside the people and party. That not them business standing, not to your own business. The thing we can make on your own business now, because if it begin affect the conduct of general elections or the nation as a whole, where inside our party now, there is some sort of unrest in the sense that people are beginning to become uncomfortable with the way the party they conduct itself, and then they begin to call for a new chapter, a new beginning, then sure enough, that process has to be listened to, because after all, these are your party members, and I believe they didn't get right. The right not only belong to a certain group, as long as you're a party member, and there's a definition in what makes you a party member, and therefore, once you meet the criteria there, you also get a voice inside the party, and that voice has to be listened to, because why? You are a member. So you see the process they on democratically. And isn't this not good feeling, not so to APC people that the process being conducted now is a democratic process from the ward all the way going to a flag bearer elections. One thing we need to know is looking at the NEC database, we get almost 446 ward them with all around the country. Okay, so then 446 ward there, they take them, then give them to the TIEMMC, we give this body the opportunity for man the affairs. In other words, for look after the affairs of these wards. Looking after the affairs of these wards, I mean, not responsible for conducting these wards, the election them. Okay, 446 of them dotted all over the place. The people that we get the right for contest for them position there at ward level, they know say that I think there are about only 9 position them, and I stand to be corrected on this. There are something like 9 position them where they up for grab. I still they look at the comments them, and they expect say people go help me for understand some of the things they are what they say. And I think they want to do background on, but of course not all the time you are correct. Somebody make a comment last see. Okay, this now Hassanito. Please go to the point. The premises have been laid. Okay, Hassanito, let me put your comment there so everybody can see. That's very interesting. I like emphasis, Famule, for those of you who may know me by now. I love emphasis, and sometimes for effect, I go over and over. But anyway, I've gone through that, and I think you made this comment. When was that? 7:01. So this now 18 minutes ago. So I've moved on. Thank you so much. And sometimes the way they make the emphasis or they go over and over. Remember, say the process of live video is dynamic, it's ongoing. So some people then just they join, and especially when the numbers are low, you still they try for keep some and try for develop the premise as well as people and they join. So I hope say this makes sense, Hassanito. But thank you for that. So they get only about 9 positions up for grab. So everybody within the ward, they are allowed for contest for these 9 positions. When I say everybody, well, of course, people that will meet the criteria, not to every Jack and Harry. There has to be some criteria met in terms of the party, the requirement, membership, fully paid up, and things like that. Something I say from the very beginning of this conversation. And here is where the grassroots of the party become really, really significant. You know, every party get then grassroots, but some party then grassroots are more of grassroots, as the word say, and now they hold the party more or get a say, and now then are the mobilizing and organizing factor them more of than anything else within the party structure or hierarchy. Because when the party hierarchy or structure want for do something, that grassroots they become extremely, extremely important. The need for go to them, the grassroots need for approve, they need to get the approval level of the grassroots. Anything done beyond that, now you and some call. Now the division can come, because once the hierarchy want for get and done, and they not get the totality of the grassroots, then they begin for play the rule of divide and rule. So Pasianda get Hassanito. I don't mean any disrespect. Your name just come up, get you, and probably because you're influential within the grassroots and you're able to move some other people in a way. So now you first then they go grab, which is a common technique, and then you move with other people, and then things get done because the bribery takes place and things like that. But anyway, this process is on, and this process is really, really interesting. Somebody just make another comment. Let's see whether I'm able to see this comment. I'm really interested in what people they say, because it's a learning process for me, as I say. So Lahai Kube Dauda, good evening, brother. It's been a while. It's been a while not hearing from you and brother Chernoba. Okay, this is really interesting. I will address this at the end of the show or towards the end of the show. But you are not alone. I've been receiving many messages, them some hypocritical, some deceitful, some but some with real passion and love, concern about what is going on. But like I say again, I keep this close to my chest. At the end of the program, I will let you know exactly what is going on. And thank you for that anyway. So like I say, during this time and this process, the grassroots become really, really important. The grassroots is overall very important in the party. But when things are happening, when the mechanisms, the machine of the party is in gear, is flowing, is floating, is running, the throttles are all, here in action, then the power of the grassroots. All the aspirants that we want to mobilize the grassroots them. Okay, and this is the process where they happen. But only thing this time is happening within a democratic provision where they sweet boku people them. And me self as a Sierra Leonean, it is sweet me very, very much. And bear in mind, say, in the past, I did not oppose to it because I am of the opinion within a political party system or structure, when the party agree say, now so we go use for go before, that's what they use for go before, not to anybody in business. But when people within the party begin for feel uncomfortable and begin for express some thoughts, say, this process we need for change and all right, or we need for upgrade, or we need for modernize, then of course, the voices of those people, we get for listen to them. So they have been listened to, although the court being there for intervene, and the court now begin for dispense the structure on how the party for go before. But some people then will agree, say, even though this is a little bit shameful because the party could not, arrange themselves within their own house, and then we get for go wash the dirty linen in public, and other people then we get for see the dirty linen and help them for wash them. But the dividend here is not too bad because there's a process ongoing which is democratic, and I'm sure there are many people who are happy. Of course, you get many people who are not happy within how you go call them the same vein. But I mean, they talk within the ward process now, how the grassroots of the party has become very, very key. They're always key, but when the process they're on, they become very key. So the grassroots of the party, the general mass of body of people belonging to the party, because this is their election, this is not a EU election, this is not APC election, they get the right for vote for the applicant of their choice. For let you get the right for vote for the applicant of your choice, it means say you get forget a voting card, and this now been say, not so you grab one money no more because you say election day and then you run voting up in a line. You'll be wasting your time, and this happened, but in different aspects. You get forget a voting card, and that voting card when you get them, or the team where they make that voting card for let you get them, let you be eligible for this process of voting for a candidate of your choice, is you get for be a fully paid up member of the organization or the party where you belong to. The contestant then themselves, they want the way they aspire for them position, they repeat because it's absolutely necessary. Then self get for make sure they don't make the subscription fee or pay the subscription fee, which amount to 2 years. It's fully paid up. No if, no but. Say I pay 11 and a half months or 23 and a half months. No, 24 months fully paid. That automatically qualify you for run. The rest now through the other system, but you don't qualify for run. Because so the party in law say. Now, in the entire process, all the party and partner them, and they talk about this entire process will take place this BNTM when the ward elections, what they talk about. It's been really, really interesting. Of course, those of us within our social media, every one of us that are watching the program, we see some disconcerting photos, some, uncomfortable scenes. In other words, fighting, and in some cases, there were cases where blood was drawn because offensive weapons were used. So people got wounded. But this night I've been to talk about when a process of this kind they on, you obviously they expect challenges, and these are the challenges where they on go. I am not condoning them. I'm not a violent person. I don't advocate for violence in any shape, sense, or form. But sure enough, I'm making the case as to why this is happening. Because from proven research, from proven evidence, all over the world, whenever these things come into conflict, X and Y cannot agree on something. In highly civilized society, training, would they take training? How for avoid conflict? If you see somebody in voice, they go up, push common around. If you have become the problem, excuse the sin, let other people learn. Things like that. That's like when you go take transport. All man no say not to fet, like how we can fet for who gonna get into the poda. I mean, these are the circumstances and the situation, but we could do better where we can form a queue. But because everybody want to go first, it end up for fet. The thief man, they all day between they pickpocket them. You they fet somebody, they pick your pocket. By the time you reach now, that fet what you been do, you will let don't go. The money where you come all soon at all. It's all gone. So there's a process there. So during this process, you get partners them within the structure of the state who have been very, very helpful. And all the feedback I get from the people and at the ground is they have been really helpful, including the police. You see, sometimes we've had a go at the police. I've had a go at the police, but for very good reasons. I've had conversation with a few of the top level police, including the head of media. We had conversations before in the past, and as citizens, we are given or supposed for give we that opportunity therefore let we express ourselves as to how we see things. But in this case, the police, from all the people in the ground and from video they were see, have been really helpful and in helping the All People's Congress for carry out this exercise, we at some point become unruly. We are going to talk about shortly why this process became unruly, how they come to that. But the police was there, and the police was very cooperative, very helpful. Not only the police, waiting will be also get there. Now, other, like I talk about structures of the state. The ECSL was also there. The ECSL who are charged with the mandate of conducting general elections in the country. So from your understanding, the ECSL helped the APC with election material. And remember, I said they get Boku election materials, them, such as ballot boxes, such as seals for seal the ballot boxes, such as ink, where you use for go vote. The only thing when they not provide the APC, of course, was the ballot paper itself, because the APC had to make provision and security arrangements around ballot paper so that you don't experience things like ballot stuffing. Because within the All People's Congress try for do now for try definitely, and all the people that will participate in the process as officials away from these partners, but officials of the party themselves, from commissioners to supervisors and polling agents. They were all very cooperative. They were all very much in touch with each other. They were all, most of them, 99.9% of them were experienced in one way or the other of the job that they were doing, and they were committed to the act. It's like everybody be want to see a positive outcome, giving the All People's Congress a sober face And this not to me only they say this. Of course, you get people who go and demonize the APC, who go and use the incidents, the ugly incidents, then we see in which there were fightings, and in some cases, people were wounded because offensive materials were used. It is true that those things should be highlighted, but it's a learning curve for them. And those are some of the challenges, yeah, the party be experienced throughout this exercise. But I be want to applaud the police for being very helpful, and I be also want to applaud the ECSL for being very helpful as partners to this exercise, where a political party then come to the help of a political party. The police by providing security for the exercise, the ECSL by providing useful logistics to the All People's Congress, which were used. Those ballot boxes were used, as per my understanding. The seals were equally used. And the elections were conducted up to the point where PPRC being get for come inside. Now, why did the PPRC come inside the picture? The PPRC come inside the picture because of incidents that will begin to take place. Remember from the beginning of the program, I say few of the things then on why the conduct of elections is going on. Remember, this is not the first time in terms of them kind of elections there where APC actually put a ballot box down in which who that one for contest get for go through process and get for meet the criteria, and in the end you get for go a line formation and you get for show your ID card and you slip. You name get for then at the voter registration where they be not develop where the polling agents then get where then go counter check your name against what you they show them, and in the end if your name not they then therefore you will not be allowed to participate in the process because that would be a rogue element. So you had people of that kind there we really turn up for vote. And because they were not allowed, they became disruptive to the process. And say if they're not a vote, then nobody else will vote. You get people that will come way suspect the whole situation that it smells fishy and what have you. Some people came in good faith, then get a card, but they not meet the criteria because the name not the inside a voter registration. Because remember, the lead up to the registration process will generate that voter registration list. Some of these people were not fortunate to register because there was so much will happen. I need not go over them because those of us will be they follow the process, no say exactly exactly waiting happen. So some people were fortunate for register, some people were not. Some places where registration being supposed to take place being closed or was closed earlier because of disruptiveness. So few people being lucky for register. Others were politically motivated. However, the general side to all of this is these people, their name not being in at the register, so therefore not be able to participate in the process. Okay. I think so a day on time. I think I've done what? Yeah, about 45, approaching 45 minutes, which the show will close very soon. So then people there when they're not allowed for participate because their name not in at the voter registration list, they became disruptive, and therefore the police began for coming to the situation. The police took how you call and then take charge of the situation, then calm things down. Of course, there were disruptive measures by some people. Some people had gone there definitely for disrupt the process. Remember, some people be don't say if this not happen, we they go down there and what have you. But the bottom line is this were a handful of people. The vast majority of people were very peaceful. Then went along, then conduct themselves according to the plan, according to what was required of them. And then when they became disruptive, the police take charge of the situation, calm the situation down, have a conversation with them, tell them exactly what they need for do. And one of the things that they need for do, or the most critical thing they need for do is, first of all, inform them that waiting and tell the police, it definitely means they get a claim, or they get a grievance, or they get a complaint. But the complaint itself get procedure. And that procedure they will have to be channeled through to the PPRC. So the PPRC began for coming to the picture. And when the PPRC come into the picture, these people lodge their complaint not to the APC, where probably people then go say there was a conflict of interest, but they went to the political organization responsible for the conduct of political parties. This is where these grievances were made, these complaints were made. And because these complaints, well, a large chunk of them were genuine, the PPRC take into account these complaints where then people there make and say, una know waiting, yes, these complaints are genuine. Then bear, yes, some some truth to it. So therefore, we listen and we go uphold the complaint there. So therefore, they uphold the complaints. This now in bring a pause. Now in bring a pause to the situation where the PPRC say, well, I'll put a hold to the thing and I'll try for resolve this, because if we continue for conduct the process, which means that in a democratic exercise, we'll be depriving boku people them of the right for exercise them constitutional franchise, party franchise, because of some errors them where the party itself could have been responsible for, or through some technicalities where disqualify them people. They are not of their own doing, but just as a the complexity of the situation then leading up to this election. So therefore, the therefore say, well, let uphold the complaint and then suspend the process in the meantime. But like I say again, these are the people who want for comment because of the help we didn't do. The police, never forget that. The APC is really grateful from all way to the area. The PPRC, what they do, give the APC materials there, which were really critical and useful to the entire exercise. And then the Election Commission, the Election Commission, we give the All People's Congress material them pertaining to the conduct of elections, ballot boxes, ink, and seals for seal the boxes, which was really helpful. APC was really thankful for that, as I understand. And then the PPRC, who was monitoring the conduct of the party as they carry out this exercise, which is a newfound exercise, the democratic process, which, like I said earlier, is the first time that the APC, they put box down. I mean, kudos to the APC, kudos to those who fought for this time, and they've done extremely well. Hopefully, they can carry this process through, but the process is well underway, and they look very successful thus far. So another constraint where the party being get when they conduct an exercise there, of course, many challenges. So it was one of logistics. Organizers them being get problem like they not be able to capture all the aspirants them as to how they may want do that registration sort of process, including the pictures when they not be able to get on time. This not be a significant issue, but then the process has to go on. People they need to understand, say the All People's Congress, it did begin in time. So the backlog with the All People's Congress is massive. So this exercise has to be carried out, although in a faster pace, but it has to be constructive. It has to be under a conducive atmosphere. It has to be seen as democratic, as required by the law, by the mandate given to them by the court, which na in they don't do so far. So waiting then do them being for devise a system where they all agree to instead of the initial one, wait for being just wasting time and probably suspend them again for days, if not weeks. So then decide for go into a ballot system and a numbering system. So waiting that mean is that all applicants we can contest for these positions, then put them into the numbering system there. It's a critically technical thing which I can break down, but which they try for doing, I forget an expert from either the TIEMMC for CAM, now the platform for CAM broke this down for both me, where myself are confused a little bit, and then the general public, una the viewership for can explain, and also from the ITGC. There are constraints though, because there's a lot happening, and maybe one of these days I go broke that down to the audience. But these are part of all the huge challenges. And another thing with them they do again for expedites the process within a conducive atmosphere. Now for bring people in within the community, we can vouch for people. In other words, people of reputable standing, not any body no more in the community, people of reputable standing, people and we get good jobs, people who are respected in the community, clergymen, pastors, civil servants, people with property, good family values, things like that. We can vouch, say Prince. I mean, we know Prince because remember, say they don't go into a numbering system, a balloting system, in which some justification will have to be made in recognizing these candidates from a secondary ID process, which ushers in the vouching process for them people there. Prince is of good standing, as Sabiam is reputable. I vouch for him. I put my name na the table for him. I'm not good for him, if you know what I mean. So all of that process was employed, and it turned out to be a very good process, if you like, a very good one. So this helped for keep the process fair and open because they allowed the community for participate. In other words, it wasn't done in the dark. It wasn't done in a back room. It wasn't done by a telephone call from X to Y. Look now, so, if you understand what you no, it wasn't done in the back boot of a car in which exchanges were made, brown envelope or sacks of money. No, it was done right in the open with the community participating, which is part of the democratic function. So this is new to the APC. This is novel to the APC. So therefore, this is where the APC needs to be commended for this new beginning. Hopefully, they take it further. Remember, say you get all this process, then we get for go through about 4 or 5, which is the ward, and then you get a constituency, and then you get the district. Before you go up to the regional, before you go up to the flag bearership election. So now process leading up to that. And the process so far is very, very open, very transparent. It's in the open for all to see. And not devoid of challenges. And those challenges cannot be used for, say, well, the process is not clean. From waiting you don't see and hear. No, that's not at all. And I don't break down to una so. Waiting actually happened. Now then mishap there, then technical issues there. People then get card, but the card no they up to date. And the process say you name for them another voter registration, which the polling agent then have. If they look at that voter registration, you name no day, it means you not get for vote. And the people themselves will turn up. Some of them genuinely get card, but the cards are not up to date. So they became suspicious of foul play. You know, say we community, we quick for suspect. So they became disruptive, like I say, and the police began for coming. The police wasn't heavy-handed. The police calmed the situation down, had a conversation with these people, and referred them to the PPRC. We're responsible for the conduct of political party, their conduct, and take over and resolve the issue there and then, suspend the exercise, and try to have a look and come up with a solution, which should have happened today. And as I speak at press time, as I speak to you now, I don't know what the situation is. As soon as I come off studio, that's the first thing I'm going to go into for try for find out what happened. Another challenge where we get is one of transporting material, which is it was very difficult as I understand how to transport the material there from point A to point B. It's been difficult. But if them don't make provision easy, but it's a learning process. Remember, the entire exercise is new. It'd be difficult for letting a vehicle from moving from point A to point B. But in the end, though this was a logistical problem as well, it was resolved. Another person who was very helpful in this entire exercise was lawyer Ibrahim Suri, and personally sending him to me. And I vet him, I look into what he do by conducting, if you like, a poll from a sample of people that will be involved with the process, and everybody spoke highly of him. So lawyer Ibrahim Suri, now man, we the courts now be appoint him, and from waiting I understand from all the people I've had this conversation with, he was very helpful indeed. And then broke down this entire ward thing, into kind of regions, and I think they may get 5 or 6. The 6th one, 6, and the 6th one happened for the Freetown. And waiting they do then divide Freetown into 2 parts, where you get west-west, and then you get west-east. Yeah, and then you get west-east. This is how they broke Freetown down. I mean, I'm really impressed by what I don't see and hear so far. I closely they monitor and get people in the ground. Of course, they made this provision for me for this account where they gear today, which I'm very grateful for. You also get the people we been in at the head of or who were heading the conduct of this entire exercise in persons or in positions of supervisors, and you get district coordinators, you get constituency at constituency levels, district coordinators at constituency levels, you get polling agents, and you get them one the way they man the words. So you see, it's not an easy process, especially for a party we just begin for go through anything in the day. And remember all the backlash and all the things that will be happening, the constraints leading to this process. But in the end, they are there and they are getting it right bit by bit. The process of democracy, the work, and it's unfolding. And I believe say there are people enjoying this because they also they provide what you will call opportunity for new people. We also are taking advantage of that in either throwing their hats into the ring, but if they are listening, if then they listen to me, can I also say, try for read the party in constitution, try for follow the law, try for see waiting, because effectively the judiciary is in charge of the APC indirectly. They put out mandates out there to selected bodies, which they self-create, where now then they go out there as party people for conduct waiting the judiciary tell them. Try for make sure say you up to date with that. Because that will help you, especially if you get intention or you love your party, then you know where your party stands. So you know to one person where they go around, they propagate rumors, they in the disinformation, misinformation campaign. And not only because you know, say they do and deliberately know, because of ignorance. So you're out there when you're a small thing or when you don't understand something, you go, you get your smartphone, pap, you don't do your WhatsApp audio, now send and so it begin for make the rounds. You know, if you know who that listen to Ram, who that not listen to Ram, but you know, say you don't do something by doing them and send them. No, we all for begin rise up to the challenges and begin for think smart, get smart. Okay. So these are the things that have been happening. You know, then get this motorcar problem. Then we get issues of fake ID cards. People and they will actually turn up with fake ID cards. Remember, I say people and genuinely turn up with the cards. But in these processes, you always get people that will come up with fake ID cards. Remember, I say you get people and way the intention are for disrupt the process. The intention are for can store the ballot boxes them and make sure say the candidates of their choice, you know, here now ain't get the way, because this is something they used to over the years, but now it's different and they can't just reconcile with this process suddenly. It's really difficult for them, but this is what is happening. There is a new dawn within the party. It happened. This not mean say all this yuki don't end, because it not end immediately. The process has only just begun. When we talk about democratic process, you see places like the US since 1776, where you get in election, in independence. Great Britain has been existing, you know, here forever. But they've gone through their own motions, and even today, then they fine-tune, then process there. So for make sure, say, the rule of law, respect for human rights, the exercising of your franchise and expressing your opinion are all respected within the ambit of the law, which constitutes democracy. So it's not an easy thing for do. So imagine people that were new into RAM, and as those democratic lovers fight for more democracy, they are going to meet resistance from people who are used to having it their own way, and it's not going their way any longer. But the more they remain compact, the more they will multiply. And what happens when they multiply, it implies that those on the other side, the resistors of this new change, then they begin for breakaway as the eye begin for open, the wax begin for down off the ears, the scale of their eyes. Then they begin now for understand, say, let's say yanda, waiting in the talk now the right thing, because they also present me opportunity. Instead of having crumbs on the table where Ojo Bra don't eat, Alejo don't eat, waiting left dinner they can eat. Me self I can eat one whole chicken, you know. How they use this, you know, yeah, as a metaphor in terms of the national pie, if you understand what you had to say. So here is the process. So the PPRC, like I say, make a decision and order a rerun of the election. Just for make sure say they get it right, that people participate. Because when you deny people of participatory democracy, justice, all waiting a commodity, na chaos, fet. But when you satisfy the whims of people, not everyone is going to be satisfied, but at least the vast majority, and you make the process open, fair, people themselves get the mind for reason that this is a good thing. So the exercise of a democratic process are the first of in kind in APC history. So they meet resistance, but that resistance gradually they accept or go get for accept the reality of a new dawn, fine-tune themselves for face this new reality, which also present them an opportunity. So the opportunity is now general. It's not only limited to them, in which selection is being made by a chosen few, making choices of their own, not of the broader electorate. Those era is fastly going away. That era they in are we back now, now they with the Siam. You know, like when you run inside your motor car and you look now your view mirror, depending on the speed where you go. Now, so this exactly look like. The more you mass the gas pedal, the more the road behind you they disappear, or the trees them waiting at the side, or the grass, or whatever then at the side is almost similar. There is a new day dawning. So the ward elections, they have been very successful. When I talk about a rerun, not only ward election, no, because those were successful. Remember, say they may not move away from the ward election, in which they may not go into constituency election. And at the constituency election, I believe say them in their power for lead them to district elections when then things they are beginning for happen. Because remember, as the thing they gain momentum, those we not feel comfortable with the system, then will find all kind of way, because they do have during the ward election, but of a lower magnitude. But that was successful. And why I say successful, not them being successful, the antis being successful, it is the positives, those four, the process were being successful. So that move on to the next stage. In the next stage, those that were not successful, the anti-democrats, they step up gear, you know, because they see that they were being left behind. Instead of them participate in the process, we also present an opportunity for them. They see that they're being left out, so then decide, say, we not agree, so then step up, send more people in at the ballot, and places them voting centers for go disrupt. But however, like I say again, the police was there, the PPRC took charge, decisions were made, then PPRC suspend the process and ask for a rerun. So that rerun, if I don't get a decision today whether they go before and how they go before, I will keep you informed subsequently. But the ward election, it was successful. So what we need for also know is that successful winners at ward level, now they're responsible for vote at constituency level. And that's done. We already get successful ward winners. Now they get for being responsible for vote at constituency level. So you see why some people in the worry as to the candidates that are being featured on constituency level. Because if you not get your candidates, they will get for at ward level. Because if you not get your candidate today, we get for vote for you at constituency level. Now losses, you don't losses that level they so. Because that level they self get for go up furthermore to the district level and then the regional and then flag bearership. So you see how critical and complex this exercise is. Very interesting. Let me keep our eyes and ears open. The pause continue. And like I say again, subsequently, I go inform Una. I promise Una say again that there are technical aspects to all of this where they happen so. But waiting also get for happen is we go get somebody from the team itself. We go come break this down to we so that we all go understand. Because even for myself, there are technical aspects of it. It's not rocket science per se, because I still don't figure them out. I sat down, figured this out, material sent to me, data analysis based on the material when they sent to me. So I'm able to make a reasonable analysis out of this. And this is exactly what's happening. Yeah, Mr. Orwell, how are you? How are you doing? So anyway, Fambulem, I mean, this is it. I'm happy that the level grew up today. I think we get 32 plus 13. We get about 44, 45, watching. And like I say again, we are warming up to the new year. We get only about 4 contributions. I think I don't read 3. We get 2 more now. This now from brother Lahai Kubedauda. Good evening, brother. It's been a while. Okay, I've read that. There was another. Honestly, your public education and lecture has been our credible source of information. Thank you, Mr. Dauda. I'm very, very pleased with your kind words. Without you, there won't be a me. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. This is brother Dauda again. What did he say here? The PPRC has made it to a hand. This is what I was looking for. Thank you, brother. The PPRC have made its rulings and directed the TIIEMC to go ahead with the district elections in line with the 3 constituencies to be rerun and advise the petitioners to stay away from wasting the party's time leading towards the NDC. Lahai, I'm really happy about this because this information is critical to this broadcast. I should have had this going into this broadcast because today is Monday. The decision was meant to come out today, and it's 8 o'clock. This decision will have come out some time ago, but I'm happy in the end you gave us the decision which has been made. And Fambule, if una look na the thing, the screen, una go see a pasted from Lahai Kube Dauda. I'm really thankful for this, and we don't come to the end of this program. I just wait for long to absorb waiting and see there. So now that we know this and then not move to the next stage, and like I say again, I promise we'll definitely bring person for can help we going forward with this particular understanding of where we are with all of this program. Definitely, I promise you now. Somebody may ask a question regarding Chernobyl and the empire waiting to go on, and I mean, promise at the end of the show, I will see what's going on. Thank you for your concern. Like I say again, not a you I'm going to ask. I think I get about 24 few calls, many messages them way are archived. But there were messages asking what's going on. Where's Brother Ba? In those messages, them you can see some of the messages them were really genuinely asked, concerned. Where is he? Because people are interested in his materials, and we have formed this association. But how come? I always say we had a slow start to 2023. Brother Ba is really a busy man, very busy. Let's be honest. Even today, as I speak to Una, he depend travel. I don't know whether he don't reach Usai they go. And Una know how big America is. Those of you who have been to America from one state to the other, my goodness, the expanse of land is unbelievable. And if you drive, it just make them worse. Flying makes them easy because in hours you don't reach Usai, they go in minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. But when you drive, it take you like 6, 8, 10 hours. You drive or go to another state. Just massive. Furthermore, he's now also teaching. Again, he write in thesis, finally, for complete this in PhD. Because he don't defer him, I think, a few times because he been get other engagements. Then he also they write 2 books, and then again, Africanist press obligation. Then furthermore, they don't open a new platform, a new media house where they focus on another region of the world. For help we understand again what is going on in the world. But for those who are concerned in terms of relationship, me and the brother, we are fine. He's not gone anywhere. He's still very much a part of this entity. And he's coming up soon with I think they come up with something regarding corruption against President Biu in government. So I think say in February they launch that. But it still gets in slots now the platform, and this is the good news, and this is what you will want to know. So the things they were saying just now, this is what is keeping him away, including myself, way now the main face now the platform, even though I've been try for sidestep and allow other people and for doing, but it's not an easy thing, here for do. So myself, I engage in a different kind of work now, and that is swallow a great deal of me time. But I love what I'm doing. Look, the information this guy put out just now, very credible and very good and very ideal to the situation we will talk about. And look at the other sentiments expressed by another brother about the credibility of the information that we are putting out there, which we go to great length for try forget so that the information is credible, because this is the hub of the conversation. So on the issue of Brother Bad, these are the constraints, including myself. But we get an obligation to UNA, and there is no way we're going to let you guys down. This obligation is going to continue unabated. There's nothing that's going to stop this. We're going to continue doing this for as long as we can. And for me personally, as long as I've got breath in me, I'll continue to do this, because one, is something that I personally enjoy. Two, the idea that people are thrilled by this. And even though others don't like it, I'm equally thrilled by those who don't like it, because it's not only those who like my message. I'm also equally looking forward to those who are diametrically opposed to what I stand for, my concept, my idea, my philosophy, my ideologies. But I want to put that into a debate. So the debate is open. That's why we invite everybody. The Sierra Leone People's Party, officials of the Sierra Leone People's Party, the C4C, a Coalition for Change, the National Grand Coalition. Everybody's invited on the platform. Let's have a conversation. Even though some people have made a decision not to attend this platform, for them, they've looked into a crystal ball and they've decided on their own that this platform is an APC platform. Theoretically, let's assume one moment that this platform is an APC platform. So haven't you been to any APC platform? Or assuming again that this is an APC platform and you are invited on a media basis to have a conversation, wouldn't you come and air your views and come challenge the platform on positions that they hold, whether they are critical of you, your party, or where do they stand in terms of nationhood? No, they've let themselves down, not me. Not you, because you continue to be the audience. And it's such a shame on them. 4 years on, we've invited the SLPP over and over, used to be in contact with some of their big wigs, including the ACC boss, Francis Ben Kaifala, had exchanges a few times. And what this platform really wanted to do was to showcase the work that he was doing in terms of corruption. Okay, as he did his work, as we get hold of it, we make it known to you guys, because as citizens, you need to know what the anti-corruption boss was doing, positively, negatively, but we were interested in the work that he was doing. And a couple of times we invited him. He was very willing to appear on the platform to make the case as to how he was going about it. But unfortunately, this did not work out on time. And when things were not going quite well, we became critical of him, nothing personal, just as a citizen, a patriot. We became critical of him. And then I'm sure the commissioner who's watched us probably once or twice for a few minutes, but he's got people who do watch and take, them bella them. When they take the word, go to them, big brother them. That people in the other platform, the other man, this, that. The shameful part about him again is like these people take this thing as gospel truth and they act on them. I used to be in contact with the information minister, wanted him to, as information minister of the country, I wanted him so badly on my platform to come and give us views and analysis about the government of President Bio, how I did the things that he does normally. But it's not like he was only doing it within the information ministry spectre, he was doing it out. He's got a right to choose platforms to which he wants to attend. But then, even though me and him was in conversation and he made promises many a times that he will appear on the platform, again, because there were times when I was critical of the government, and rightfully so. And because of that, again, word was taken to him. And of course, we started getting distance and distance and distance. Same thing with MP Tawa Conte. I won't say anything ill of him. I know the conversation that we had. He was willing to come on the platform as well, but during the time that he was supposed to appear, that's when he was going through all his troubles within the parliamentary system. But along with that, he also had personal problems, which we discussed at length. But there's been many things ongoing. And so Brother Ba is back. I mean, he is here. He's gone nowhere. As a matter of fact, I can disclose to you now instead of the surprise, because I knew it was going to be a surprise for many people. I am having an interview with him on Saturday. He's still got a Saturday slot, but like I said, he's traveling. he's not been able to put pieces together with all of what else he's doing. But I do have an interview with him this Saturday, and the flyer will be out tomorrow. So your incredible and favorite Cherno Alpha Ember of the African Express is still very much with the Then and Now media platform, and I'm doing an interview with him this Saturday. The flyer will be out, God willing, tomorrow. This is what I've got to say here for now. The Then and Now is here to stay. The Then and Now is trying to be credible and has been credible thus far by producing, your news, unvarnished, unfiltered, things that are critical to the function of our state. If you do well, we tap you on the back. If you do bad, we call you out. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you think there's something wrong with that, well, the challenge is yours. The platform is open. Whenever you feel like, just send us a message. For those of you who send messages to an official letters with our letterhead inviting you for an interview, it's up to you to take up that interview. But once again, I say openly that the platform is open at any day of the time. Even we were critical of Cherno Bar of the APC, the speaker, how do you call him? The leader of the opposition in parliament. What his henchmen did, did you hear me? They came after me and they rain curse. Mami cost the 101 day. All because I was critical of him and asked a question. Cherno Bar Cheikuko, wolf in sheep clothing with question mark. Question mark at the end of whatever implied that it's a question. It don't have to be a language issue in which it is complete, especially for an intro on a flyer or a topic. Wolf in sheep clothing, question mark, means it's a question. Up, down, where? Harvard, Connecticut, Princeton, or all the Ivy League universities. It is known. It is accepted within journalistic annals. That became an issue, but that's understood because there was a deviation there. But then that was okay because we want to have this conversation. But then some people descended into mamikos, real mamikos. But we get them tipped. We get them tipped and they not to me one green and then tipped and they are stored for these people because at some point they might aspire to go for national positions. And then we'll ask Sierra Leoneans playing those tapes, even though we may not want to play them. And so far we've resisted playing them because we don't want our audiences to hear such profanity at a level equal to a 10-dimensional chess player. But this is the case. At some point, we will endeavor to play it or to play them because there are many. Some of them have made a name for themselves on social media trying to prove that they can be bomber for insulting people because your view runs contrary to their view or you are critical of people that they support. Can you imagine? There is nothing as crude, backward, and munku as such, but we do understand. But like I said, Cherno Alpha Ember is very much within the platform. I am interviewing him this weekend. And I believe subsequently in February, he will be constant again on the platform with his normal Saturday slot. So I hope I've made the case, and I thank you very much for listening. There are many interviews and monologues coming, very powerful ones. I think on Wednesday we don't have any program tomorrow, but maybe I might have an emergency crash program because there are many things coming. I have a conversation on. I think I have 2 interviews on Friday. A brother in Holland who is a publisher, and Fambulem. We really need for buy this brother in book. Please, would they advertise the book? We need for buy them. And I sure say supporters of this platform will try for at least get this book. That's how we should show solidarity with ourselves. If you self na shukubla now you get for sale, you can for advertise on the platform. Even sometimes if we don't need that, we'll get space or we need for help for promote them, we will. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. Until we catch up again, most likely on Friday, be yourself. Thank you. Help for share with videos. Love you. TNN is here to stay. Goodbye for now. So thank you, everybody, and goodbye. Until we see again, be good. Bye now.